All right, how are we doing, everybody? Oh boy, do I got a treat for us today. I cannot wait here. It's loading in right now. It is Flashback Friday. We are looking at a game from my early childhood. I can tell you that, called America's Army Proving Grounds. Not even Proving Grounds. That's the newest version. America's Army 2.5 version. Now, this 2.5 version is literally from 2000, I'd say 4-ish time frame. Um, it is like like going back to the original Call of Duty 1942 or whatever you want to call it. Uh, but it is awesome, and I cannot wait to jump in, play a little bit with everybody here, and enjoy just some nostalgia. So I plan on loading in here, doing a little bit of their training. So they were really big in their training days back then for America's Army. Um, so hopefully we get a good amount of people. Now, obviously, there's probably not too much. What do you call it? Players on this game. So you'll see a lot of it just be a little bit of soloness, but okay. All right. So right away we're gonna jump in. I see one person in game currently right now. One person. So we're gonna enjoy a little bit of SF Pipeline.
Your squad has been eliminated.
I'm afraid to click around too much. Oh my god. It is. Don't get me killed. Oh, not according to mine. Hmm. Yeah, on my screen it's not there. Like on my OBS. I wonder if it's not picking up the game. It should. My OBS is picking up the game just fine. My first kill.
Opposing forces eliminated.
Hey, Happy, how you doing? Alright. Since he's AFK, obviously. See if I can figure out why everything is still sitting on... There we go.
Opposing forces eliminated. Move out.
Check your flanks. Get the door.
Oh my god. How to aim these things? It's going good. It's going good. Off today, so getting to play a little bit. Aren't you supposed to be somewhere like school? Guess we'll see if he moves, huh? You hear the game? Oh, gotcha. For some reason, I think my stream's on a large delay.
Opposing forces eliminated.
Ah.
Hooah! Opposing forces eliminated.
Look at that shit.
Opposing forces eliminated.
See if I can bring down my bitrate a bit. Seems I'm a little high. Holy smokes. Thanks, FHG4687H. Night Vision's V. Okay, Benny. Where's my grenade? Okay. Pistol 7. Barrel mod. L. Oh, look at that beautiful night vision. Heartbreak Ridge, pipeline only. Oh, this is his server.
Opposing forces eliminated.
So let's do some training. First, let's start from scratch. Level 1 basic training. Oh my.
Good morning, soldier, and welcome to the M16 qualification range. Today's task is to qualify with the M16A2 rifle. The conditions: you will be given 40 targets. You will qualify within the fighting position and in the prone unsupported position. The standards: out of 40 targets, you must hit and engage 23 targets in order to qualify as a marksman. Soldier, now get your ammunition from the table located to your front right. Soldier, here's your ammunition. Now move out and enter firing point number 9. Soldier, while inside the fighting position, you're going to be given a chance to expend 2 magazines of ammunition in the free fire mode for familiarization only. Lock and load 1 20-round magazine. Commence firing.
Breathing is so messed up. Let's see if I can just do it with this. No, you can't. You can't hip fire. Pretty close. Fix jam. Fucking jam. Sports.
Soldier, exit the fighting position. Soldier, now familiarize yourself with the accuracy in the standing, crouching, and prone positions. Expend both magazines of ammunition. Commence firing.
Hot damn.
Soldier, that completes your familiarization. You will now qualify in the fighting position and in the prone unsupported. You will need to have a combined total of 23 out of 40 targets in order to qualify. Fires, scan your sector.
Man, that one likes to come up. Is it only that one? I'm gonna miss because I'm not used to the others. I'm getting nervous. It's a shaky. Damn! There goes my 40 out of 40. Had a double shot that one. 38 out of 40 so far. It's okay. This can still qualify. Halfway there. I've been holding shift like it's a stop breathing thing, or hold my breath, but the truth is it's not.
All right, soldier. Now from the prone position. You will have your last magazine to qualify. Lock and load. 1 magazine. Fires. Scan your sector.
I'm disqualified. Qualified sharpshooter. Qualified expert.
Hooah, soldier. Expert badge for you.
Hell yeah. Saving those results, yo.
Good afternoon, soldier. This is the obstacle course. Today's exercise will teach basic combat movement skills. A soldier who can't negotiate battlefield obstacles puts his team at risk. You will negotiate the course once for practice. I'll give you instructions at each station. Stay in the white lane. Upon completion, you will redo the course for time. Move out! Sidestep through the zigzag, keeping your head and eyes forward. Hooah! This is the over and under. Crawl under the first, jump over the second, and crawl under the last. Well done! Get up that ladder. Move safely across the beam and climb down the far side. Good job! Climb up the wall and jump down. Huh! Get up that wall, across the beams, and down the net. Well done! Make like a duck and waddle through that tunnel. Good
So
job!
nostalgic.
Run across the beam. Don't you fall on my freshly raked sand pit. Huh! Now low crawl underneath that barbed wire. And don't you dare stand up. I need you in one piece for your next phase of training. Great job! You just gave hua a new meaning.
Great job! You just gave
Now you're
Hua a
competing
new
against the
meaning.
clock, so be swift and safe. Remember, the enemy won't wait on you. On your mark. Get set. Move up. Well done! Outstanding! Good job! Huh! Outstanding!
Waddle, 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 waddle.
Good
waddle,
job! Huh!
I think 35 seconds was our honor grad standard.
Outstanding!
Ah, and I missed it by 1 second. God damn. If I recall, 35 seconds left was our honor grad. Ah. Check out some weapons, baby.
Good afternoon, soldier, and welcome to Advanced Weapons Familiarization. Today you will get to fire the M249 Squad Automatic Weapon, the M203 40mm Grenade Launcher, and you will get to throw the M67 Frag Grenade and the M83 Smoke Grenade. Now move out to station number 1. This is the M249 SAW, a 5.56mm fully automatic weapon. Can be magazine or belt fed. Has a maximum effective range for a point target of 800 meters and a maximum effective range for an area target of 1,000 meters. Now pick up the weapon. Keep it pointed up and down range. You will have 2 belts of ammunition to fire down range.
That's a lot of ammo. A lot of ammo.
This is the M203, 40mm grenade launcher. It's breech loaded and it's a single shot weapon. Its maximum effective range for a point target is 150 meters, and for an area target, 350 meters. Now pick up the weapon and load around.
Okay. Is there really aiming on this thing? Oh, that was right on him. Come on. That was right on him, too. I guess I'll get these guys up front. Nope, didn't even get them. Holy shit. Hey, got one from a peg. And ish. Oh, short. Well, definitely stuck with 203 on this game.
On the left are the M67 frag grenades. On the right are the M83 smoke grenades. Pick up 2 of each type and move to the front of the firing position before throwing them. Try cooking off one of the frag grenades. Cooking off the grenade first will not allow the enemy to pick it up and throw it right back at you.
2. 2. Airburst, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Ah, that was a perfect airburst.
This completes your familiarization on U.S. weapons.
Lastly, the Mount Shoot House.
Welcome to the Mount Training Exercise. In this final BCT challenge, you will be tested on your ability to rapidly clear a building occupied by hostile enemies.
Look at it.
Soldier, this is a live fire exercise. Listen up and heed my instructions. You are about to experience mount training, or military operations in urban terrain. Pick up either the M4A1 carbine rifle or the M9 Beretta pistol. Also, pick up the flashbang grenades and all of the available ammo for your chosen weapon. Your results will be recorded in your personnel jacket and posted online. At this time, pick up your weapons, your ammo, then range walk to the front door of the shoot house.
Range walk.
Soldier, ready your weapon. Enter the shoot house and engage enemy. Okay, soldier, advance to the next door. Follow the flashing light.
Boy, am I not good at this. Oh. Damn. I don't know if you're a friendly or foe.
Soldier, you have completed the mount training exercise. Now secure your weapon and see the range cadre for your after-action report.
Probably sucky. Tie 4 friendlies. I'm a no-go. Ah.
You've exceeded the standard, soldier. Your performance today
What?
is notable, but there is room for improvement. Soldier, what part of don't shoot the friendly
friendlies,
targets
don't
did
you
you fail to
understand?
understand? This is an unacceptable situation. Those are taxpayer dollars you're wasting, soldier. There's no excuse for this blatant lack of weapon discipline. Exercising caution is admirable, soldier, but every moment you delay provides the enemy with another opportunity to put you in his crosshairs. Soldier, your performance today is below the minimum standard.
Below.
You will need to try again. Listen to the range cadre, conserve your ammunition, pick your targets carefully, and move quickly through the objective. You are a no-go.
Oh, man. Alright, advanced marksmanship, S24. Oh, baby. Alright, so I suck at mount training. Let's see how I do at sniper.
Welcome to the Army's Advanced Marksmanship Training School. Today, you will familiarize yourself with the M24 weapons system. Lock and load. You are now clear to engage targets downrange. While the bolt-action M24 has a low rate of fire, its reliability and accuracy outweigh the need for speed. The M3A scope allows you to engage targets at distance, but posture and breathing are even more critical than they were with the iron sights of the M16. The bipod provides the stability required to engage targets at extreme distances.
There we go, that's what I want.
That's a hit.
Alright, where's my breathing? Hey, how you doing?
Dead on. Right on target. That's a hit. That's a hit.
While we're young, soldier.
I'm working on it.
Dead on. That's a hit. That's a hit. Right on target. Dead on.
While we're young, soldier.
Working on it.
Right on target. Dead on. That's a hit. Right on target. That's a hit.
One final shot. Who's it going to be?
Time for your
Dead
test,
on.
soldier.
All right, all right.
Your test is simple. Identify the single white silhouette downrange. Estimate distance to target and fire. Remember, take your time. You only have one shot. Make it count. Congratulations, soldier. You are now qualified with the M24 rifle.
Hell yeah.
Next up, the M82.
We're going to get all these rifles, baby.
Today, you will familiarize and test with the M82A1 semi-automatic anti-material rifle. With a 10-power scope and a 50 caliber cartridge, the Barrett can effectively engage vehicles at over a kilometer. Lock and load. You are now clear to engage targets downrange. While the semi-automatic M82 has a high rate of fire, the recoil of the weapon makes it impossible to maintain a proper sight picture between shots.
Dead on. Good shot. That's a hit. Dead on.
Jam the rifle. Too much, too much.
That's a hit. Good shot.
Time for your
Dead
test,
on.
soldier.
All right, bring it on, bring it on.
One mission with this type of weaponry is the disposal of unexploded ordnance from a distance. Identify and destroy the mortar round downrange. As before, you have all the time you need, but only one shot. You won't get a second shot in the field.
Fucking fat move. Oh.
Today, you will familiarize and test with the M82A1 semi-automatic anti-material rifle. With a 10-power scope and a 50 caliber cartridge, the Barrett can effectively engage vehicles at over a kilometer. Lock and load. You are now clear to engage targets downrange. While the semi-automatic M82 has a high rate of fire, the recoil of the weapon makes it impossible to maintain a proper sight picture between shots. Time for your test, soldier.
All right, let's do this.
One mission with this type of weaponry is the disposal of unexploded ordnance from a distance. Identify and destroy the mortar round downrange. As before, you have all the time you need, but only one shot. Congratulations, soldier. You are now qualified with the M82 rifle. Make us proud.
Hell yeah. All right, next up, airborne school.
Welcome, Airborne, to the 250-foot free tower at the United States Army Airborne School, Fort Benning, Georgia. With the exception of the prop blast and opening shock, a drop from this tower is very similar to jumping from an aircraft. Your rate of descent will be virtually the same. You'll be required to control your parachute and execute a proper parachute landing fall in the same manner as you will when you make your qualifying jump. First jumper, time to get in your rig.
Check canopy, check canopy, check canopy. Look up and
Jumper
execute
going
a
aloft.
300
Assume a good
degree.
let-up position with that T-10 parachute. And remember, as you are approaching the ground, keep those knees bent, flare, turn your body 90 degrees to the direction of your movement, and roll.
And roll.
Check canopy, check canopy, check canopy. Look up and execute a good 360-degree check of your canopy. All right, sound off and tell us what you want to be.
Airborne.
How's the view, Airborne? Only one way down now, Airborne. I hope you were paying attention during training, Airborne. I do not want to have a hole in my field. All right, Airborne. You are approaching the 6-foot stop. And you are there. Knees tight together. Knees bent. Safety line time. Safety line time. Safety line time.
Hell yeah.
Jumper, your parachute landing fall and overall grade was satisfactory.
So jumping with me. Oh, we got a full boat.
Stand by!
Ready?
Go!
Check canopy, check canopy, check canopy. Look up and execute a 360 degree. Check my canopy. Turn left. Alright. Go forward a little bit. Come on, baby. Come on, we're gonna land in that circle. We're gonna land in that circle. We're gonna land in that circle. Oh, I might have broke a bone. I definitely broke a bone.
Jumper, that was absolutely unset.
Retry.
30 seconds! 30 seconds!
Oh boy.
Stand by!
Stand by!
Go!
Chute's open. Looking for the circle, looking for the circle. Oh god, I'm way too far. Way too far. There we go. Wait, a little forward. Little forward, little forward, little forward, little forward, little forward, little forward. Lot forward, lot forward, lot forward, lot of forward. Damn it.
Jumper, that was absolutely
I'm
unset.
set. Thanks. 3 times a shot.
30 seconds!
Land in the circle on the ground below. Perform a proper PLF to qualify.
Stand by!
Alright. Aim for the circle. Don't flare to the last second.
Go!
Feeling good. Feeling good. Got her, baby.
Jumper, your parachute landing fall was satisfactory.
Satisfactory. Alright. Medic. Oh, my Lanta. Upgrading a little bit to some medic training.
We're going bowling on base tonight. Want
Are
to
ya?
come along?
Yeah, sure. I'd
No
love
thanks.
to.
I'm
What?
going to a movie.
With who, bitch? You ain't got friends? Oh, he did.
Do you know where you'll be PCSing next?
I'm hoping we're going to Germany.
Germany?
You're not supposed to be in here.
Oh, well, fine. Goodbye. That was rude. Maybe she'll take me bowling. Nicole?
They're waiting for you in the room down the hall.
Oh. Well, shit. This room? Well, that's locked too. Well, that's locked too. God, nobody wants to talk to me?
Last night we bought a new television at the PX.
No way. Really?
You can't beat those prices.
What prices?
Welcome to class, soldier.
Hi.
What's up?
Get down from there, soldier.
What's up?
Last
Hi.
warning, soldier.
Alright. That's it. Golly.
Let's get started. Throughout history, soldiers have been helping their injured buddies, and you will be no exception. If you see a wounded soldier, your first action is to help that buddy. Being here today shows that all of you have the desire to help, but the question is, do you know how? What we will attempt to do is give you an appreciation for the significance of prompt, effective first aid and the basic proficiency in the application of critical first aid skills. Performing first aid on a fellow human being is one of the purest examples of living up to the Army core values. It is our duty to learn first aid and our duty to provide first aid to others. Whenever we give first aid to any other person, you're being loyal to other members of your unit, fulfilling your obligation to other soldiers, and showing those people the same respect you would expect from them. In many cases, you will be risking your own life in a selfless way to provide first aid. You are doing what's right and showing personal courage, both physically and morally. By performing first aid, we are living up to the Army value of honor, because saving a human life brings honor to yourselves and to the United States Army. It is important that you treat injuries in the order in which they are most life-threatening. During this lesson, you will learn how to evaluate a casualty for breathing difficulties and decide in which order to give first aid measures. In this and in future lessons, we will be teaching you the signs and symptoms for evaluating and treating a casualty according to the priorities needed to prevent death, control shock, and lessen further injuries. Our first step is to ascertain that our buddy is in fact a casualty. We do this in a procedure called shake and shout, where we first ask in a loud but calm voice, "Are you okay?" Then, we gently shake or tap the casualty on the shoulder. Watch for a response. A conscious casualty may be asked where his body feels different than usual or where it hurts. If the casualty does not respond, assume mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is needed. Call for help and begin resuscitation procedures. If you or the casualty thinks that they may have hurt their neck or back, do not move them unless it is absolutely necessary to save their life. If the casualty is conscious but is choking or cannot talk, stop the evaluation and begin first aid immediately. When it is safe to do so, lay the casualty on their back and open the airway with the appropriate maneuver. This action alone may start the casualty breathing again on their own. All living things must have oxygen to live, and it is through the breathing process that the lungs draw oxygen from the air and put it into the blood for the heart to pump through the body where it is then used. Without this oxygen, cells in the brain and nervous system may die after 4 to 6 minutes. This lack of oxygen may mean irreversible brain damage because these dead cells can never be replaced. The method to open the airway on a casualty with no suspected head or neck injury is the head tilt, chin lift method. Since the tongue is the single most common cause of an airway obstruction, the airway in most cases can be cleared by simply extending the neck. This action pulls the tongue away from the air passage in the throat. This procedure again is called the head tilt, chin lift method. To perform this life-saving procedure, kneel at the level of the casualty's shoulders. Place one hand on the casualty's forehead and apply firm, backward pressure with the palm to tilt the head back. Place the fingertips of the other hand under the bony part of the lower jaw and lift.
bringing the chin forward. Please note, do not use your thumb to lift, and do not press deeply into the soft tissue under the chin with your fingers.
No go.
Any foreign material that you see should be removed as soon as possible. For casualties that may have sustained significant head or neck injuries, we use a procedure called the jaw thrust. Kneel behind the casualty's head and rest your elbows on the surface on which the casualty is lying. Place one hand on each side of the casualty's head and grasp the angles of the lower jaw with your fingertips. Place your thumbs on the jaw just below the level of the teeth. Lift with both hands to move the jaw forward and upward. This action will also cause the casualty's head to tilt back somewhat. Keep the head and neck from moving more than necessary. If the casualty's lips are still closed after the jaw has been moved forward, use your thumbs to retract the lower lip and allow air to enter the casualty's mouth. Next, check to see if the casualty is breathing by using the look, listen, and feel method. Place your ear over the casualty's mouth and nose with your face toward the casualty's chest and look for the rise and fall of the casualty's chest. Listen for breathing and simultaneously feel for breath on your ear and cheek. If casualty is not breathing, immediately call for medical help and continue with your first aid. If the casualty does not spontaneously start breathing when you open their airway, you will need to provide what we call rescue breaths. If you are using the head tilt chin lift method, use the thumb and index finger of your hand on the casualty's forehead to gently pinch the casualty's nostrils closed. If you are using the jaw thrust, close the casualty's nostrils by placing your cheek tightly against the nose. Administer 2 full breaths by opening your mouth wide and taking a deep breath. Place your mouth over the casualty's mouth. Make sure that your mouth forms a good seal so that air will not escape when you blow into the casualty's mouth. Maintaining the open airway will keep the casualty's mouth open slightly. Blow a breath into the casualty's mouth. As you blow, observe the casualty's chest. If air is getting into the casualty's lungs, his chest will rise. After blowing the first breath, quickly break the seal and take another deep breath. Seal your mouth over the casualty's mouth again and blow. Administering the 2 full breaths should take about 2 to 3 seconds. After delivering your breaths, break the seal over the casualty's mouth and release their nose. This will allow the casualty's body to exhale naturally. If you cannot seal off the casualty's nose, or if the casualty has injuries to their mouth or jaw area that prevent you from administering mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, administer mouth-to-nose resuscitation instead. Close the casualty's mouth so air will not escape. Seal your mouth over the casualty's nose and blow the 2 breaths into their nostrils. If the casualty begins breathing on their own, look for additional injuries. After treating the injuries, arrange for the casualty to be evacuated to a medical treatment facility. Do not leave the casualty alone since their breathing may stop again. The casualty may still require help to keep their airway open. If air goes in and out of the casualty's lungs, but they do not start breathing on their own, check their pulse. If the casualty's chest did not rise and fall, then fresh air is not getting into the lungs. Try to open the casualty's airway more and administer 2 full breaths again. If the casualty's chest still does not rise, a foreign object is probably blocking their airway. Administer finger sweeps and manual thrusts as necessary to unblock the airway. Once the airway is unblocked, administer 2 full breaths again and constantly reevaluate. That concludes the lecture on airway management. Your tests are in front of you. When you're through, come up and see me to get your grade.
Priority. As a medic, what priority is it for you to help an injured soldier? First priority. It is your duty to learn first aid. I agree. Saving a human life brings honor to yourself and the United States. I agree. The first step of a combat lifesaver is to protect the wounded. What is the primary purpose of the shake? It's not faking it. Attempt to get the casualty to snap out of it. To casualty. If casualty is choking and cannot talk, finish the evaluation and begin first aid. Stop the evaluation. Tell them to walk it off. What method to open the airway on a casualty. True. The most common cause of airway obstruction is foreign objects. Which of the below is not part of the head tilt chin lift? Kneel next to him. Place one hand on the casualty's forehead. Is not. During the head chin, your thumb. False. False. Wait. True, I think. Which of the following of these is not part of a Jatha specific? If a casualty does not spontaneously start breathing when you open the air, you need to I believe. Man, how long is this test? If you cannot seal off a casualty's nose, or if the casualty has injuries to their mouth or jaw area to prevent them from administering mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, you can administer. You can. While giving rescue breaths, if a casualty's chest does not rise and fall. Okay, I'm done. I didn't see what it said that I gotta do.
You just made it, soldier.
77%. Hell yeah.
We're going bowling on base tonight.
Something
Want to
cool?
come along?
No, she's gonna
No
watch
thanks,
a movie.
I'm going to a movie.
Welcome to class, soldier. Okay, let's get started. Now that we know how to evaluate and help a casualty who is having difficulty breathing or has stopped breathing, we will move on to the next step and learn to control bleeding. If you cannot stop a casualty from bleeding, the casualty may just as well be dead. Loss of blood is just as deadly as not being able to breathe. People, whether they are civilian or military, who are bleeding will usually be in no condition to properly stop their own bleeding. This is where you come in. You will have to be able to control the bleeding of an injured person. If at all possible, expose the wound first by pushing or cutting away loose clothing. This will enable you to view the extent of the injury. Clothing or anything else stuck to the wound should be left alone to avoid aggravating the injury further. Do not attempt to clean the wound on the battlefield. A dressing is a pad made of soft material that is applied directly over a wound. When it is necessary to apply a field dressing to a bleeding extremity in a combat situation, you want to use the casualty's dressing for his own wound. Do not use your own dressing. Place the dressing directly over the wound. Grasp olive drab tails of the dressing with 2 hands and pull the dressing open. It's important to remember to place the white side down. With one hand, hold the dressing in place. Use the other hand to wrap one of the tails around the injury. Note, if the casualty is able, you may ask him to hold the dressing in place while you wrap the tails. Wrap the other tail in the opposite direction until the remainder of dressing is covered and secured to the body. Tie the tails into a non-slip knot over the outer edge of the dressing. The field dressing knot is never tied over the wound. The dressing should be tied firmly enough to secure the dressing, but loosely enough to insert 2 fingers between the knot and the dressing. If the wound is actively bleeding, apply direct manual pressure over the dressing for 5 to 10 minutes to help control the bleeding. The casualty can be asked to do this himself if he is conscious and can follow instructions. If the direct pressure does not stop the bleeding, apply direct pressure to the injury itself. Elevate the injured extremity above the level of the heart to lessen the bleeding. If conditions do not permit you or the casualty to hold the limb personally, a blanket, shelter half, poncho, log, or any other available material can be used to elevate the injury. If a fracture is suspected and it is not splinted, do not elevate the injured part. If the bleeding continues, it may be necessary to apply an improvised pressure dressing. A pressure dressing consists of these parts. 1. Any bulky material which can be folded several times, such as a rag or a piece of soldier's garment, and placed on top of the original dressing. 2. Strips of cloth torn from a garment, socks, or other material which is then wrapped around the padded material to secure it in place. Remember to keep the injured extremity elevated. Place the wad of padding directly over the wound and on top of the original dressing. 1. Place an improvised dressing over the wad of padding and wrap it tightly around the limb. 2. This time, tie the ends in a non-slip knot directly over the wound to secure the extra. Take a seat, soldier.
Sorry. Uh-oh. Hey, you're not talking anymore. Hey.
If bleeding still persists after direct pressure and elevation, it may become necessary to apply firm pressure to one of several pressure points on the victim's body. The point to use will be located on the affected limb between the wound and the heart. Use of a pressure point will cause a slowing of the flow of blood to the affected limb and help a clot to form. Once a pressure point is used, you should be prepared to hold pressure for at least 10 minutes. In our example of an arm injury, this is the correct pressure point on the brachial artery. If the bleeding stops, watch the casualty closely for life-threatening conditions and check other injuries if necessary. If all attempts to stop the bleeding have failed, you might have to apply a tourniquet. A tourniquet is a constricting band, and it is placed around an arm or leg to stop severe bleeding. This band is improvised from a strip of cloth or handkerchief. If the bleeding continues, or if the wound is a partial or complete amputation of the arm or leg, you will need to apply a tourniquet on the injured extremity. A soldier whose arm or leg has been completely amputated may not be bleeding when first discovered, but a tourniquet should be applied anyway. This absence of bleeding is due to the body's normal defenses, a contraction of blood vessels, as a result of the amputation, but after a period of time, bleeding will start as the blood vessels relax. A tourniquet should only be used when all other measures have failed to control bleeding. Do not use wire or shoestrings for a tourniquet band, as these narrow items may cut into the limb and cause more damage. A tourniquet is used only on arms or legs where there is danger of loss of casualty's life or limb. Once a tourniquet has been applied, do not adjust, loosen, or remove it for any reason. Procedures for putting on a tourniquet. First, Prepare a tourniquet. Improvise bandage from handkerchief, strips of cloth, or other strong pliable material. Fold it into a band not less than 2 inches wide. Obtain a rigid, stick-like object. Second, apply the tourniquet. Place the tourniquet 2 to 4 inches above the wound and between the wound and the heart. If the wound is just below the elbow or below the knee, the tourniquet should be applied above and as close to the joint as possible. Please note, the tourniquet should not be placed on a joint or over the wound. When possible, place the tourniquet over the casualty's sleeve or trouser leg to prevent further injury. Third, tie a half knot. A half knot is the same as the first part of tying a shoelace. Fourth, place the rigid object, a stick for example, on top of the half knot. Fifth, tie a full knot over the stick. Twist the stick until the tourniquet is tight around the limb and the bright red bleeding has stopped. In the case of a large wound or an amputation, dark oozing blood may continue for a short time. If possible, severed limbs or body parts should be saved and transported with, but out of sight of, the casualty. Secure the stick using the ends of the tourniquet band or another piece of cloth so that the stick does not unwind and the casualty is not injured further. Caution! Do not cover the tourniquet. Leave it in full view. Notice, if the extremity is missing, apply the tourniquet first to stop the bleeding, and then pad and bandage the stump using whatever improvised bandaging materials are available, such as shirts or strips of cloth. Make sure to mark the casualty's forehead with the letter T to indicate a tourniquet is in place with the time of application. After the casualty has been bandaged and marked, it is crucial to get medical help as soon as possible. Okay, that concludes the material on bleeding. Time for your test. When you have finished, come see me for your grade.
Alright, didn't listen much. So, when exposing the wound, anything discovered stuck inside should be removed. False. Well, no. I don't know. Whose field dressing should be used first?